Hey songwriters, Danny here, founder of Songwriters International. If you are a songwriter, producer, artist who wants to develop their craft, write better songs, then you are in the right place. Now in today's video, I'm going to share with you how to make your songs literally write themselves in just 5 simple steps. And once you have this process down, you can repeat it again and again. Now before we dive in, I'm going to give an opportunity to 5 songwriters to book in a one-to-one call with me where we can dive into your songwriting, see what's going on, what you're feeling stuck with, what you need to improve, what your goals are, and get you on the path to where you want to be. So if you want to take that opportunity, in the description below, go ahead, click the link, head on over and book a call in with me and we'll jump on a one-to-one session together. Okay, so let's jump on in to step 1, and that is idea. We need to start the song from a seed. A plant grows from a seed, the same way that a song will write itself from an idea, a quote, a title, a 6-word story, a horse name, in fact, a very bizarre but incredibly impactful, a conversation that you've had with somebody, a social media post that you see. Ideas are literally scattered everywhere, and as songwriters, we should always put ourselves into inspiration's way. That is essentially where we never really turn off. We're always looking around for anything that could spark a possible song. Now for this particular example, I went online, I went onto a social media app and I was just scrolling through at what I was seeing and I got this idea. Mulled wine. Now at the time of recording this video, it is near to Christmas, we're not a million miles away. And I just saw this post and I thought, okay, it's a drink and it's Christmas. What I like to do at this stage, we've got an idea. It could be mulled wine, it could be trees, it could be birds, it could be anything. Whatever the idea is, start to ask the idea some questions relative to the idea that you've got. So for this example, for mulled wine, I could ask questions like, what does it taste like? Who are you drinking the mulled wine with? What colour is it? Is it Christmas or is it not? Is it a bottle that you're drinking or is it a glass? How many glasses are you going to have? I just want you to imagine this like a tree. A tree has a stem, right? And it has the roots in the bottom. The idea is the stem. And what we're trying to do here, we're trying to build the branches off, right? We're trying to build off from here. And by doing this, we're going to come up with more ideas to then more avenues that we can take the song down. Now, once we've actually started to branch off the initial idea, in this case, mulled wine, and we've started to actually answer those questions that we have asked ourselves, then we are going to go into step 2. And we're going to ask a few more questions to really start to build this out before we actually go into the writing of the song. So the first question I want you to ask yourself in relation to the ideas that you've just got from the questions you've just asked is, what is the overarching point of this song? What are we actually trying to deliver? Now, once we've understood that, then we need to understand for ourselves, what do we want the listener to know or understand or feel by the time that they finish listening to the song? What do we actually want them to understand? And if we can understand that ourselves, we're going to be able to actually do the timeline of how the song is going to evolve so that we know we are going to deliver that particular story for the listener. And just imagine it like driving a car. When you get in a car, you know where you're going to take the car, you know where you're going. You very rarely just start driving around for no real purpose. You know you're getting in the car and you're going to drive a certain location. This is the same with a song. We want to take the idea and we want to know a certain, or at least an idea of a certain location that we're going to be going in the direction of. Now we're going to go into part 3, and this is what I call plot development. This is where we take the initial idea. We've taken the word or 2 words, mulled wine. We've asked it some questions like, who are we drinking with? What does it taste like? How many glasses are we going to have? And we've just given ourselves some branches off the initial idea. Now, at this point, we've gone, what is the overarching point of the song? What do we want the listener to feel or think or understand by the time they've come to the end of the song? And now that we've done that, we're going to go into, like I say, plot development, where we actually start to plot the story. How do we actually tell the story in verse 1, and then in the chorus, and then into verse 2, so that by the end of the song, we have actually told the listener and they understand and they feel the way that we want them to feel, because we've delivered the story throughout the entirety of the song. So this is how I go about plot development. I basically write out my structure that I'm going to go with. Let's just say it's this simple structure for this purpose, for this demonstration. We're going to go verse, chorus, then verse. What I'm going to do is give myself a little bit of an idea of what each section is going to be delivering for the listener. What is verse 1 going to be setting? What is the scene? So that it can lead back to the main story that I want to talk about. What is the chorus trying to deliver? Typically the chorus is going to deliver the main part of your song. And then the verse 2. What is that delivering? And how does it contrast between the verse and the chorus? And how does it continue the evolvement of the song? So what I want to do for you now is just show you this example of how I'm going to take mulled wine and I'm going to actually start to develop the song into a more of a concrete idea. So what you can see from this example here, point of the song. I'll take out the mulled wine this Christmas and toast it to those that aren't with us. That's the main point of the song. But what do I want the listener to understand by the end of the song? I want them to understand that Christmas doesn't have to be a sad occasion just because a certain person or multiple people are no longer with us, and that they're looking down on us raising a glass, and we're going to look back at them and raise the same glass back to them. And that's what the mulled wine represents. The mulled wine represents a drink where you are drinking it together, but the other person is no longer with us and we're here down on earth. So into the next steps, how does this song actually evolve? We know what we want the listener to feel and think. We know what the point of our song actually is, but how does that develop as a song? Let's jump on into this. So here in this example, verse 1 is about feeling broken inside. No one can actually see from the outside that you're feeling this certain way because you're keeping it hidden within. And you're not going to get into the specifics in this section. In verse 1, I don't want to be telling the listener why I feel broken, right? I'm writing it from an I perspective, let's say for this example. I don't want to tell them. I don't want to tell them it's about Christmas and that it's about mulled wine and how it makes me remember this person because that they used to like to drink this particular drink and so on. I don't want to say that. I just want to start setting the scene and just talking about one particular thing. Then we go into the chorus. And we're talking about mulled wine at this time of year. It makes me think of you and it brings me down. It makes me feel sad because you are ultimately no longer here. Verse 2, I'm actually going to place a positive spin on this song, and we can't stay in this place every year, right? We can't come to Christmas every single year and just feel down and feel sad. We need to put a positive spin on it so that by the time the second chorus comes around, that can be written in a way that now this mulled wine is seen as a positive and it's no longer seen as a negative as it was seen in verse 1 and the first chorus. It's not a negative anymore. It's actually given us positivity. It makes us remember the person or people that are no longer with us, and we're going to raise a glass to them. So both choruses are going to be the same, but they're going to have a different type of spin and they're going to hit differently because I'm going to make sure that each verse is slightly different. And what we've done here, we've given ourselves a sense of direction that we're going to take the song in. Just imagine it like a car again. You want to drive from one location to the other. You need to get your maps out and you need to figure out how you're going to get from this place to this place. You're going to turn left, you're going to turn right, you're going to go straight ahead for a mile, then you're going to turn left again. That kind of thing. That's what we're doing here with the song plan and the plan development. We are understanding what we actually want for our song, where we're going to turn, what we're going to say, and how we are going to say it. So into step 4, and I want to share with you something that I absolutely love, and this is a big part of the songwriting itself. And this is what I call free writing. You may be familiar with it, where you just essentially take pen to paper and just start to write. But what we are doing is we're going to write with a little bit more direction. We're not just going to write endlessly and blindly. We are going to give ourselves some sense of where we want to take the lyric. So here's an example. We're going to go to verse 1. So in verse 1, what we want to talk about here is feeling broken inside, but nobody can visually see it because we're hiding it so well. So what we're going to do is we're just going to put out random words that come to mind. We are just free writing at this moment. We're not trying to write the song specifically. We are literally just free writing. So we might say things like, I'm broken. There's a chunk missing in my armor. This drink reminds me of you. let's say. We could also be going on to say, I'm feeling lost. A piece of me is missing. Nobody can see the cracks that are inside. Now you can see from all these examples of just random words that I'm putting out there, okay? They may go in the song later, they may not. But all I'm doing here for like a 5 to 10 minute purpose is I'm just free writing. I'm just writing out words that relate back to that particular section of the song. Then I would do the same thing for the chorus and the same thing for the verse 2. I would just free write for 5 or 10 minutes and give myself an abundance of words and sentences that I could possibly piece together later on. And then finally into step 5, the step that you've been waiting for is write the song. Now you've done all of the hard work. You've done a lot of the work that you may not have done previously. You may have just gone to the guitar in the past or the piano, or just gone to a melody and thrown it out and hoped for the best. Now we're not doing that. We're giving ourselves a clear sense of direction. We're giving ourselves the plan to take the direction of the song into. So go ahead, implement this into your songwriting and then go on in and actually write the song. If you've enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit subscribe, drop a like, drop a comment below for any other videos that you'd like to see. I've been Danny Boyle, founder of Songwriters International, and I will see you over on another video.